All right, so today we're going to be looking at a passage and we are going to determine the author's purpose. But before we begin, we need to do a little bit of a vocabulary review. What is an author? An author is the person who writes the text. So maybe it's a fiction text, so it's a story with a character who has a problem and a solution. Or maybe it's a nonfiction text to teach you about something. A point of view. A point of view is a person's way of thinking about something. So today we're going to look at a text, a nonfiction text written by an author, and we're going to determine this author's point of view. So the way this author thinks about the topic they're writing about. All right, so the first thing we want to look at is the picture here. Ooh, let me take that away and put it on our pointer. So if we look here at this picture, this is a picture of what we call a sea lion. So I want you to think about, we know our pictures or our photographs tell us a lot about what we think we're going to be talking about. Our titles also tell us a lot about what we're going to be talking about. And the title here is called Why Whiskers? So what I'm going to do is I am going to underline this word whiskers. Whiskers. And if you don't know what whiskers are, if we look here at our sea lion, these right here on our sea lion are our whiskers. So I think that to figure out what our author thinks about whiskers, I'm going to have to keep reading. So let's take a look at this first paragraph here. It says, some whiskers are long, others are short. Not all whiskers are alike, but all whiskers are useful. So we now know that our author is not just specifically writing about sea lions, but specifically about these whiskers on animals. So if I take a look at things such as whiskers are long, other whiskers are short, those are facts. Those don't really tell us about our author's opinion on what's happening here or the way our author thinks about whiskers. These are just simple facts. Some of them are short, like this one, and other whiskers are long. However, if we look at this sentence, not all whiskers are alike, but all whiskers are useful. This gives us a little bit of an insight on what our author thinks. This helps us see that our author believes that whiskers are useful. What does that word useful mean? So if you're thinking useful means that it can be used for something. It has a practical purpose. It can be used in different ways. So if we're trying to think about the author's point of view, the way that the author thinks about whiskers, we can think that if the author thinks the whiskers are useful, then he or she must think that whiskers are good for animals. All right, I'm going to read paragraph 2 and then stop. People use their fingers to touch or find things. Animals use whiskers in the same way. The sea lion uses its whiskers to find fish. Then it can catch and eat them. Cats, dogs, mice, and pigs also have whiskers. The whiskers help them sense objects around them. They also help animals find their way in the dark. So I want to look at paragraph 2, and I want to be able to circle some things in the text that help me identify the author's point of view about whiskers. So, for example, if I'm looking for things that might help me see that, I might look at things such as the whiskers help them sense objects around them. Sense objects around them just simply means it helps them find things, helps them locate things. I might also circle, they also help animals find their way in the dark. So since these animals don't have hands to help them navigate or move around a place when it's dark like we do, then they have to make sure that they use their whiskers. Now, after reading paragraph 1 and paragraph 2, we can kind of have an idea of what the author is thinking about whiskers. We know the author thinks they're useful. We know the author thinks that they help them. We're going to continue to figure out what else the author thinks by reading paragraph 3.